Hey guys, what's going on? It's Eli, back with another review video, and we come to our last Christmassy review on the weekends, and yep, you read the title, and as I teased, another Christmassy special that has to do with a Time Lord. Yeah, it's obvious, and, even I'm wearing the shirt, you know what it is, and I'm sure a lot of you figured it out. It was pretty obvious, so yeah. That's right, guys. The new Doctor Who Christmassy special, and which, coming on Disney Plus and so on, and this is, and looking at this because, it says that it's, Doctor Who special number 5. Well, because, of the new era of Doctor Who, and with the first 4 Doctor Who specials, you know what I'm talking about, but yeah, that's right. Joy to the World. Yes, Joy to the World. I gotta say, I thought this was actually a pretty good Doctor Who Christmas special. What Steven Moffat, good old Steven Moffat, had to offer with what he brought to this new Doctor Who Christmas special, and, yeah, this being the second Doctor Who Christmas special in the new era of Doctor Who, and with, Ncuti Gatwa as the 15th incarnation, yeah, of the Doctor himself. I thought that where this was going, from beginning to end, and, especially a good majority of this taking place for one whole year for the Doctor, but more on that later. But if you've seen this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And any of you Whovian fans, and any of you like me, have come to start to like, this era of Doctor Who and such, yeah. And of course, I've reviewed the first season, if you want to go check that out, as it's referred to, season 1. But anyways, yeah. And with great casting, and whom guest stars in this Doctor Who Christmas special. Of course, it never fails with Doctor Who, even in the Christmas specials, delivering some funny moments, but also some emotional moments. And let me tell you, because, if you've seen some of the past Doctor Who Christmas specials that Steven Moffat has wrote, even especially when he was showrunner, yeah, because, man, I tell you, Steven Moffat had written some of the top best Doctor Who Christmas specials, like the one where, it's their very own take on A Christmas Carol, or say, The Doctor, The Wardrobe, that one, in between season 6 and 7. I could go on, but yeah, just Steven Moffat for sure has written some pretty good Doctor Who Christmassy specials. And once again, doing this, he did not disappoint. And actually, fun fact, because Russell T Davies, he didn't have any time to write the next new Doctor Who Christmas special, because him getting, really attached to the second season, and thus he reached out to his buddy Steven Moffat to, helm and write Joy to the World. And thus, he did, yeah. And of course, Steven Moffat, kind of coming back to Doctor Who, because he, writing a few, I think, yeah, just one episode for season 1, which was pretty good, yeah. So yeah, just overall, what Joy to the World had to offer, really good, and especially because with all the scientific talk and figuring out the clues and theories and all that stuff, and what happens at the very end, yeah, so... All right, but again, overall, it was good. So, as always, for me, read the description / the story. When Joy opens a secret doorway to the Time Hotel, she discovers danger, dinosaurs, and the Doctor. But a deadly plan is unfolding across the Earth, just in time for Christmas. Yeah. Okay, so, getting into Joy to the World itself, because, well, I'm sure some of you, like me, seeing a couple of clips of these, special previews. The opening to this, well, it's literally one of the first, previews that we got that was shown at Comic-Con, where, yeah, we see Queen's Hotel, we see a we see a base in Everest, the Orient Express, in the 1700s, etc. And from the Queen's Hotel to a base in Everest to the Orient Express, well, the Doctor popping in and just offering basically ham and cheese toasty and a pumpkin latte. Yeah, had to make sure to write that down. So, and those that appear in, say, the Queen's Hotel, the Everest base, the Orient Express, yeah, because they were, there was like, let me see, Tenzing Norgay, Sylvia Trench, yeah, and Basil Flockhart, and hotel manager Edmund Hillary. So just looking at some of the cast, and I believe, and Hilda Flockhart, Julia Watson, those are the ones that appear at the Queen's Hotel. Basil Flockhart being played by Peter Benedict, and Hilda Flockhart being played by Julia Watson, and there's also Sylvia Trench, Naomi Mary Smith. Yeah, I hope I pronounced that right. And again, you know me sometimes. But, so, again, the Doctor going through these, like, 3 rooms, and, well, we can see something behind him. What is it? And why is he offering them so-and-so? Like, what is going on? And, well, we then get our introduction of a new temporary companion, because I'm sure you know this, where in some episodes of Doctor Who, we would get a one-off companion, sorry, not cameo, for a one-time adventure, that kind of thing. So, the companion for this is Joy Almondo, I think I said that right, being played by good old Nicola Coughlan, if I'm saying her last name right. She'd be best known for one of the top, biggest shows on Netflix, Bridgerton, if I'm pronouncing that right. You know what I'm talking about. Nice to see that, she's now a part of the Doctor Who universe / franchise. And she does not disappoint, that's for sure. What she brings to this Doctor Who Christmas special and the character she plays, just really good, because when we come to Joy, it's present time, London, Christmas, and, around Christmas time, I should say, and her staying at a hotel, and, when she gets into her hotel, and, getting herself set up, and even interacting with a fly that was buzzing around, interacting with the fly, and, Merry Christmas and such. Then at one point, a Silurian, that's how the Doctor pronounces their name, Silurian, potato, he's the hotel manager, being played by Jonathan Arris. Just out of nowhere, coming through one door in the hotel room that Joy's staying in, and Joy whipping out a hairdryer, and the Silurian says this quote, "The starseed will bloom and the flesh will rise." What the heck does that even mean? Well, we don't know just yet. And once again, the Doctor's stepping in, pumpkin latte, and so on. Slow down. And then the opening credits, and we, and usually in some Doctor Who episodes, because we would start, at a random spot, but, we would see how this began, and so the Doctor, he makes his way to this futuristic hotel, far into the future around Christmas. And, because coming out in his PJs and was getting like a coffee, having a newspaper with him, and he's greeted by someone that works at this futuristic hotel, Trev Simpkins, being played by Joel Fry. very a little suspicious on, the doctor and the interactions that the doctor and Trev have. And even when Trev winds up getting attached and involved into what the doctor is about to do, even when he notices that there's some mysterious guy with a case, and apparently is handcuffed, to the case. Mr. Single being played by Joshua Leese, that being him, and and again, Trev winding up tagging along with the doctor, on a dangerous secret mission. And even when the doctor starts to realize that, when he looked at that case, he's gonna be doing something. And even when he whips on his, leather jacket, and, thus trying to figure out what this is all about with this case, this mysterious being at the hotel. And even the doctor starts to realize what kind of hotel this is, especially, and if you even noticed, even I did technically, the people that were in the hotel lobby and where the front desk is, in different wardrobes, and apparently, like, these weird, like, hotel guests, and you see some dressed in Victorian style, or some coming from Africa, caveman. Well, this hotel that the doctor finds himself in is a time hotel. There are different doors that basically are from specific timelines, because again, mentioning, people dressed, that are Victorian dressed, or cavemen, people from Africa, need I go on? Very clever. I like that. That's pretty cool. And to those from that era of time, some of them, being aware of the time hotel and having access to specific doors to get into the time hotel. And, when the doctor learns about this from Trev, it's pretty cool. Even the doctor's even digging it. He likes this. So, again, them keeping an eye on Mr. Single, even when the doctor has Trev, contact him if anything happens on, an earpiece he has, by calling him Doctor, to signal him. And, so the doctor and Trev splitting up, and, Trev, encountering Mr. Single, and even when, Mr. Single is at, at a bar table, bar stand, and the barman being played by Liam Prince Donnelly. Apparently, because Mr. Single offers the barman the suitcase to keep hold of it for right now, but we hear a voice coming from the briefcase, and the handcuffs lock on to the barman's wrist. And apparently, because the case in some ways is possessing and controlling anybody who touches the briefcase, and when the cuff lunges, and straps itself on someone's wrist. And once that's done, the previous being that was holding the case is free from this curse, and apparently will soon die, turn to dust and such. Jeez. And when Trev shows up, and, he unfortunately gets a hold of the case, and it's unfortunate. And unfortunately for Mr. Single, vanishing. Literally. Ugh. Yeah, and, the doctor, what he was doing was, at one point, ordering something and, having to travel to each doors and to track down whom it is with the briefcase. Again, because, ham, cheese, toasty, and a pumpkin latte, that was ordered, and that was quick, and what Trev explained to the doctor on this being so quick. And thus the doctor, as we saw at the beginning, going through each of the doors, and until he comes face to face with, now it's a Silurian, which being the hotel manager, who now has the briefcase, so the doctor following him, and thus, where they would encounter Joy. And even someone that was working at the hotel in London stepping in and witnessing this, but didn't seem that much surprised. That being Anita Benn, being played by Stephanie D. Wally. And something about Anita I didn't expect, and I'm sure the same goes for you guys, that, this woman who, is running the hotel, she has a big part in this, but until I get there. At one point, to speed things up, because, the doctor confronting the, hotel manager who now, is possessed and in control from the briefcase, and, the hotel manager repeating the same quote, the star seed will bloom and flesh will rise, and yeah. And ultimately what happens next is, unfortunately, Joy gets a hold of the briefcase. Now it's cuffed to her, and the Silurian, a bit of an emotional moment where, the Silurian is going to, turn to dust and such, and gets a bit emotional, and the doctor does not want the Silurian to die, and the dialogue that, each of them have, and up until, he turns to dust and vanishes. Yeah. And, now Ruby has the case, so what now? Well, and when trying to figure out the case and even opening it, and inside of the case is a starseed, a literal starseed that's alive. And, by opening it, something triggers it, and, it's gonna soon go off, something bad's gonna happen. And, they have to, they close it, and when it got a little bit intense, but in order for its full closure, it needs the code. And what's the code? How are they supposed to know what the code is for its full closure? But that's when the doctor then starts to put this together that, apparently he's going to find out the code right about, say, now, because, he knows that someone is going to come through the door, and turns out it's him. Yeah, him from the future steps in and knows the code, and the code being, it was, code 7214. Yeah, and thus, everything's good now. And apparently, the doctor from the future has to leave the other doctor right there and take, along with him, Ruby and the case. And it's going to be up to the doctor to figure out the code being stuck there in the hotel. And that's what happens. And yeah, the doctor cannot get back to the, time hotel. So now the future doctor has gone along with Ruby. And yeah, so now the poor doctor is stuck. And throughout most of this, basically the doctor has to spend one whole year to be there at that hotel in London. Even when, he asked Anita, for him to stay in that hotel room for one whole year, and offering to apply for the hotel. Yeah, and thus him doing a lot of things, even giving this family their orders, even though they didn't order yet, and psychic. So, and yeah, a bit of a montage of what the doctor does, at the hotel, doing this and this and that and that, even having a mop on the stairs without him moving it. It's doing it itself. And Anita, I think at a certain point she didn't care. She had no problem with what was going on and how strange of an odd fella the doctor is. However, a little later on, a friendship starts to grow on the doctor and Anita. Even when, a little early on, the doctor from the future that came in and gave the doctor, the code for the case, he told himself that, the whole thing of him being alone. And this is especially after, he left Ruby to be with her family, and the fact that she just got back with her, biological mother, and soon to find and meet with her biological father, that whole thing. And if you've seen the very last episode of season 1, so, and it's true because, the doctor, despite the fact, because, he's always had new companions with him, most of the time, because, he really doesn't have someone with him all the time, because we know this, and it's sad, but, the Doctor, he just moves forward, and even if, he sometimes loses a companion, or, if the companion is done with the adventures, yeah, I mean, golly, because those that seemed like they could have stayed with the Doctor forever, like, well, the best examples, like, say, Rose Tyler, or his wife, River. The fact losing those people, like, just emotional. You know what I mean? But anyways, so yeah, this at times being talked about a good chunk in Joy to the World. But yeah, so again, a friendship grows between the Doctor and Anita, even when, yeah, there was one moment where she came into the hotel room that he was living in, and, the Doctor, offering her to take a seat, because, yeah, taking a seat, and thus they have some fun. And also, the Doctor even had a collection of police boxes, miniature police boxes. And why is because, memories, and also he got them online. There was a lot of them online, as he said. Of course there would be, so yeah. And a little montage of the games that they play, like Twister and Checkers, is pretty funny. And how, the Doctor's still trying to figure out, because, how to still get back, and even a mentioning of, say, a honeymoon suite, which was pretty funny, and, the couple that's there, they're being interrupted because obviously they were making out, but yeah. And they were wearing clothes, but they still covered themselves in the bed sheets. But anyways, and still, to speed things up, because, yeah, the more time that the Doctor spends at the hotel, and very soon, the time is coming for when he will return and get back to the Time Hotel, because, yeah, Christmas in 2025 is upon him, and, he's technically, going to be leaving the hotel and saying his goodbyes, and leaving Anita a little Christmas present at the front desk, and, even he explains to her that he's just going to be off for a couple of days, and it gets quite emotional for them, and all the time, and throughout that whole year that they spent, and how a friendship grew. Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, but eventually, yeah, the Doctor is ready and in position, and thus, light coming through door, and thus making his way back finally to the Time Hotel. And sure enough, yeah, he did figure out the code, and thus, he makes his way to the same door where, he, from just, over a year or so ago showed up, coming in, and when that's his cue, come in, and thus giving the code, which again being 7214. Yeah. And same thing like before, because he has to leave his past self there, and taking Joy along with her, and of course the case. And yeah. And from there on, and we see what happens next when, what the Doctor and Joy do. And, we do see that, she is still holding the case and still technically possessed. And, man, just the dialogue that the Doctor has, and when trying to get to Joy, and even when figuring out the theory, the puzzles and clues with the starseed, and, a star being born, and shining bright in the sky, what he says. Again, the scientific talk and, some specific dialogue in Doctor Who's, gotta keep up with. But yeah, and this is technically where the Doctor, and he can be sometimes when you realize, and when you think about it, being like a therapist to Joy, because we learn that Joy herself, she had a pretty rough Christmas in 2020, because, and this is especially, 2020, the pandemic and so on being mentioned, and where Joy was at, and unfortunately, her mother was very sick and had been in a hospital, and Joy's mother, because we do see her at the very end, but, unfortunately, Joy couldn't be there with her mother in person, and she was like at a party, and via FaceTime and video chat, wishing her a Merry Christmas and etc. And unfortunately, and we learned that her mother had died on Christmas Day. And yeah, the doctor getting to her and just, and with like, nothing, not in a rude way, but still, and basically trying to wake her up, and by making her mad and expressing her feelings, because by doing so, well, possibly it's one way, for her to snap out of it and not be under control of that briefcase. And that's what happens. She just unleashes and comes out, of what happened and her not being with her mother. And, she died on Christmas Day, and, and her going on, like, being alone and just, not able to forgive herself because of what she did. And there's nothing intentional that she did. And yeah, it's quite emotional. It's kind of a hard thing right there. And yeah, the doctor, again, being a therapist, don't we all need a therapist like the doctor? Yeah, don't we all? But yeah, in the end, it all turns out okay. And thankfully, yeah, it worked. And as I said, Joy waking up angry, and she's no longer attached to the case. Yeah. And the doctor assuring Joy that it's okay, and there's no such thing as, bad day or bad luck, what he says. Bad luck? Yeah, bad luck. And yeah, looking at the case again, and this is where we had gotten another exclusive clip of this. Well, this case containing this star seed, well, yeah, because, again, as I said, the star seed will bloom and the flesh will rise, because, yeah, those that are attached to the case, they keep saying it. And, and being handcuffed to the briefcase, which is a containment unit, yeah, for weapons manufacturer Vilengard's mysterious item, yeah. Vilengard, that's right, yeah. Vilengard, once again making an appearance in this, well, and technically, because Vilengard, it had a heavy, appearance in one of the episodes of Season 1, which Stephen Moffat wrote, if you know which episode that I'm talking about. So yeah, once again, Vilengard showing up, and this case with the starseed, yeah, it's their doing, and apparently, well, this holographic image, which contains, the memories of those that were attached to the briefcase, and via hologram, basically explaining the details of Vilengard and what's going on, and with the starseed, just, yeah, through the hotel manager, yeah, he pops up once again. And then at one point, well, the room that they entered, because it looks jungly, and, well, because, yeah, it's like they're on top of, a tree hut or something. Well, turns out, they've made their way. Which era of time that they find themselves in? Basically, primeval. We see a freaking T-Rex emerge, trying to attack and eat Joy and the doctor, but unfortunately, the T-Rex got a hold of the case, and now he's under control. Yeah, he's under control, with the case, and we even see, at times, those that get themselves attached with the case, their eyelids just, yeah, even the T-Rex managed to get control. Oh my gosh. Oh well. So what now? Because now that the T-Rex has it in its mouth, and probably by that point swallowed it, and they get out of there, what now? And, well, because they have to get to another specific room to, catch up with the case and where it could be at. And that's when, on the Doctor's sonic screwdriver, receiving a holographic telegram and such from Trev. Yeah, Trev, an image of him and, because he had already died, that whole thing. Basically, he stayed loyal. He did stay loyal to the Doctor, even though he was his mind conscience and so on, via hologram being a part of Vilengram, yeah. Well, he, disobeying them and staying loyal to the Doctor. And the Doctor, saying, I love you physically. And Trev helps them out where they need to specifically go. That being room 48. That's where the case would be, and thus, yeah. However, there's like a vault or something, and they can't get the door open. And in order to do so, the Doctor has to get some rope from the base in Everest, taking some rope and attaching it to the Orient Express, and yeah. And with the rope and the Orient Express, like, hitting its brakes, well, causing the rope forcing to open the door that contains the case with the starseed, yeah. And there's one moment with the Doctor and the woman he came face-to-face with on the Orient Express, which, yeah, being Sylvia Trench, because noticing these, like, letters that she had, and, like, it could be for her man or something, like, the Doctor, like, saying, oh, these are horrible, like, you don't deserve him, and, they're mine, oh, I'm sure he'll like them, she, yeah, I'm glad to have helped, and she smiles, and, yeah, well, that was a nice moment right there, and, yeah, so, again, thankfully, with the rope attached to the Orient Express, tearing down the door that kept the case in, yeah. And Joy, well, her opening the case and interacting with the Starseed and, wanting to help the Starseed. And, oh boy, where's this going? Well, when the Doctor makes his way back to where the case is, well, it's not there. And, well, the Starseed is not in the case. Where is it? And where's Joy? Well, that's when, through that door, there are these stairs, and, well, the Doctor making his way up there, outside, and he sees Joy, and apparently the Starseed is now a part of her. And, well, she basically is now a part of the Starseed, as well as all the others, and, well, where they're at, this era of time, is a very important place that this starseed needs to be. And as it was technically mentioned a little early on, yeah. And her bringing joy to the world, and so on. And it's quite emotional for Joy and the Doctor. And even the Joy assuring the Doctor that, he needs to have a friend and go be with your friend, that talk. Yeah. But just overall, yeah. They say their goodbyes, Joy, flying into the sky, being a part of the starseed, and yeah, joy to the world, the brightest star, and, hope and joy coming to those, and yeah, because, like, say, Mr. and Mrs. Flockhart, when, yeah, there was war happening, it did stop, and, hope and joy coming for those at the Everest base, as well as Sylvia Trench. Yeah, and even when we come to, say, 2020, and we see Joy's mother watching, and seeing her daughter via chat, get well and you'll be okay, Merry Christmas and such, and, after hanging up, noticing the bright star, and, well, that's obviously Joy, and she brings her mother along. And coming back to the Doctor, he notices something, and, of course, your joy to the world. And we see this village, and I actually didn't notice this, but that was until I watched, like, one or two reactions to those reacting to this, where these people riding on horses, well, that's because where the wound up being at the end, and when Joy, being a part of the starseed, flew into the nighttime sky, and yeah, Bethlehem. Yeah, nice, very clever, very clever. And also, the others that, saw the bright star in the nighttime sky, Joy, well, Ruby making an appearance, and of course, Ruby Sunday, once again, being played by Millie Gibson, and, well, her receiving a phone call from her mother, and we get, one last appearance of Anita in this, where someone from the Time Hotel steps in, offering Anita a position at the Time Hotel, and it's because of the Doctor. Yeah, the Doctor recommended to the people at the Time Hotel to hire Anita. Nice on him. Yeah, just what a great way to end off Doctor Who Joy to the World. Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah. The entirety of Joy to the World, I thought, was pretty good. What Stephen Moffat brought to the story, and with, its cast, whom makes an appearance in Joy to the World, from, say, most notably, Nicola Coughlan and Anita Benn being played by Stephanie D. Wally, and to name some of the other cast members just very quickly, like Edmund Hillary, being played by Phil Baxter. There was also Angela Grace, being played by Fiona Marr, and Tenzing Norgay, because I named some of them, but still, just everybody that was in this Doctor Who Christmas special. They were really good, and the music and score, of course, and there were some bits and pieces of music that I think Murray Gold might have reused, I want to say, because it just sounded a teeny bit familiar. Well, I mean, hey, some people who write music and scores, like, say, John Williams or Danny Elfman, they could sometimes, use some samples of music that they'd already written, but in a different key and so on, okay? And I think, the same goes for Murray Gold. No problem there. And also, the visual effects, really good. The funny moments and the emotional moments in Joy to the World, just everything about Joy to the World was pretty good. Well done, Stephen Moffat and everybody that did this Doctor Who Christmas special. And I'm giving Joy to the World, 10 out of 10 stars. Yes, 10 out of 10 stars for Doctor Who Joy to the World. And what about you guys? What did you think of the Doctor Who Christmas special itself, Joy to the World? And with Stephen Moffat once again returning to bring us, and by writing a new Doctor Who Christmas special, with what he had to offer with the Doctor Who Christmas special story from beginning to end, with whom guest starred and appeared in this Doctor Who Christmas special, most notably Nicola Coughlan, and with everybody else, and especially those that did, surprisingly, have a big influence and a huge part of the story, like most notably Anita Bean, which being played by Stephanie D. Wally. And with the surprises here and there, the twist, and with the star seed, what was the name of it again? Valengard, them once again returning. But overall, at the end of Joy to the World, it all turned out great, and with the character of Joy to the World, the brightest star, And what were some of your favorite moments in Joy to the World? With the funny and emotional moments, and just overall, what do you think of the Doctor Who Christmas special, Joy to the World itself? And with what I've had to say, my review, and what did you think of my review? Leave comments and give this review video a like, as always. And so, with all that being said, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed my review of the Doctor Who Christmas special, Joy to the World. More review videos are coming your way. They're going to be awesome. Keep looking forward, and I'll see you guys in the next video / review. And with that, this year's Christmassy reviews on the weekends has come to a close. It's been fun, but also exhausting. But hey, overall, it was worth it, and you guys really enjoyed with what I had to review for this year's Christmassy reviews on the weekends, and I can't wait until next year. So once again, thank you very much for watching, take care, and until next Christmas, and until Season 2 of Doctor Who on Disney+, peace out. And all's